Hey toy fans, D21 Beast Rob here, back with another X-Men figure in the line of the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave of Marvel Legends that just released on store shelves. And today we're taking a look at the only legal next of kin that Magneto still has these days in the comics, Polaris. And if you don't know what I mean by that, check out the comic book series Axis and then wish you never did. But as you can see here, we do have our standard window box packaging with the figure inside, her accessories and her Build-A-Figure piece. We've got the X-Men logo towards the bottom and finally the figure's name. Per usual, the back of the packaging does feature a nice glamour shot of the figure inside. We've got a bio for Polaris in the upper right. And at the bottom we've got a complete lineup of all the figures available in this wave. Alright toy fans, well that's the packaging. Let's get Lorna Dane out of the box and see what she's all about. Alright toy fans, here we have Polaris out of the packaging, and initially I thought this was the budget-saving figure of the wave, but on second inspection, she does appear to have several pieces to call her own, including a brand new hair sculpt with a nice paint wash running through it, as well as that tiara/mask wrapped around the outside of her face, and then the cape accessory that attaches to a hole in her back. It even features some paint detail where her cape attaches to her costume. Otherwise, Polaris is reusing the same body mold we saw with Phoenix from last year, the same gauntlets we saw in the 90s Jean Grey legend, and the exact same face as the Scarlet Witch legend, which is interesting considering that canonically, Scarlet Witch and Polaris are no longer half-sisters. We'll just pretend this is a pre-Axis Polaris figure, which actually is correct if you look at her costume. The costume Polaris is sporting on this action figure comes from the late 2000s, the same look she sported around the same time as Ed Brubaker's run on Uncanny X-Men with Rise and Fall of the Shi'ar Empire, and of course rolled into her time as a Starjammer, and so on. Costume and body parts aren't the only thing that Polaris is borrowing from other legends. She also includes an energy effect that's similar to what we saw debuted with Havoc last year, and was even reused with Shocker just this year. Only Polaris's effects don't feature any paint detail like we saw with her bow and this Spider-Man villain. Articulation-wise, Polaris is pretty familiar. She does have a head that looks down very far. Back not so much, but she can look left and right pretty nicely, and the cape doesn't get in the way, and the hair doesn't really get in the way of that either. The arms will rotate forward and backwards, hinge at the shoulder, single jointed elbow that rotates left and right, rotation at the hand, as well as a hinge to move down and back. She's got a diaphragm joint so her torso can move all around, no waist joint, hips can move forward, back to about standing position, out from the body about that far, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. She's got a foot that can move forward that far, down that far. She's got that great Hasbro ankle pivot, and in a move that defies her comic book design, she does not have high heels. Thank you, Hasbro. Height-wise, this Polaris figure does stand at right about 6 1/4 inches tall. For some size comparison, here she is compared to some of her female squad mates, and compared to some of the males. Here she is compared to current and past members of her family. And finally, here she is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite series Wolverine. We don't really talk that much, do we? No, we don't. Do you wanna maybe grab a cup of coffee sometime at Harry's Hideaway? No, I don't. Yeah, me neither. Alright toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Legends Polaris figure, part of the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave, released by Hasbro in 2017. Overall, I was prepared to go into this review suggesting that you guys may want to wait till you see this figure on sale. After all, not a lot of people know who Polaris is, at least they didn't before her casting announcement, but this is a first time on the line figure and I've got to give Hasbro some credit. With the cape and the head sculpt and the flat-footed feet, and I would even argue an iconic costume design for the character, this is a figure that you shouldn't feel bad about if you paid full price. Definitely check her out. Well, thanks for watching this review, toy fans. I hope you enjoyed it. Are you as happy with this figure as I am, or would you have preferred to receive Polaris in her 90s X-Factor getup? You guys can always keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast, and I'll see you guys next time.